News 4, Dallas-Fort Worth, with Chip Moody, Clarice Tinsley, Wayne Shelley, and Brett Lewis.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us. The big story tonight, of course, Hurricane Alicia, packing winds of up to 110 miles per hour, and it's heading right for the upper Texas Gulf Coast. Channel 4's Clarice Tinsley has been covering this big storm down on the Gulf Coast, and she's with us now live from the studios of KHOU-TV in Houston for an up-to-the-minute update. Clarice?
That's right, Chip. Thank you. Weather forecasters at the National Weather Service say Hurricane Alicia is getting stronger as it gets closer to the Texas Gulf Coast. We've been told that landfall is expected at 3 a.m. at Freeport. Right now, winds are up to 105 miles an hour. The hurricane is 85 miles south-southeast of Galveston Island. A hurricane warning is in effect from Corpus Christi to Morgan City, Louisiana. Officials and residents are preparing for the worst. Channel 4's Nann Goplerud has spent the day at Galveston Island. Here's her report.
The windows at Star Furniture in Galveston were being boarded up this morning, the same way they were covered in 1980 for Hurricane Allen. Most of the businesses here closed today as Hurricane Alicia bore down on this island city. S.M. Hill said he wasn't too worried about the storm, but he took precautions all the same.
I don't think there'll be much to it, but you have to be ready for anything that comes up if you can.
By late this morning, very little rain had fallen on Galveston, and forecasters were still trying to figure out where the storm would come on shore. But you could definitely tell Alicia wasn't far away. The normally placid ocean became an angry reminder of the impending hurricane, but the huge waves became a surfer's delight. Pleasure boats in the waters around Galveston were securely tied down to ride out the weather. At the National Weather Service headquarters, meteorologists watched Alicia carefully throughout the day. Because this storm is so slow-moving, does that cause particular concern?
Yes, it does. One reason it can hold itself together and draw a large amount of water up into it, again, leading to possible problems after it gets inland and decides to drop its water.
Low-lying areas were evacuated yesterday. Many people who rent summer homes here left town last night. But residents like Bliss and Sammy Spiller decided to stay.
Well, we felt like that it wasn't a big enough threat at the time to leave, and then we felt like the authorities would warn us if we needed to leave. And as of yet, the storm hasn't reached the potential to make us want to leave the island.
When we evacuated during Allen, it seems like what we endured on the highways was so much worse than anything we could probably endure during this storm here. So we just decided to stay, and a lot of our friends had expressed that also.
By early afternoon, Galveston appeared ready for Alicia's fury. All that was left was to wait. Nann Goplerud, News 4, Galveston.
We are now in the process of trying to get a live shot of Nann at Galveston. While we work on that, back to you, Chip.
Okay, Clarice, let me ask you this. What's the weather like in Houston proper right now? Okay, we've got Nann. Now, she's live in Galveston. Nann, can you give us, I can see that it looks awfully windy there at your location. What's the situation right now?
Chip, you're right. It is extremely windy here. As a matter of fact, the National Weather Service said a little bit ago that the winds are blowing 30 to 35 miles an hour with gusts up to 56 miles an hour. But the wind has come up substantially in the last half hour. I think you can see that the surf is really high. They said the tides are running at least 6 feet above normal. Only about 6,000 people have been evacuated, we're told, from Galveston. That means another 55,000 are still here. They decided to weather the storm here. Now, earlier in the day, there were a lot of cars and people walking around. There are still some driving along the highway here, but as the storm worsens, I think those people are going to go home and stay hidden away. We're told that there have been no injuries and no serious damage. However, just about half an hour ago or so, a big chunk fell off this hotel we were staying and fell into the parking lot, but apparently nobody was injured. Chip?
All right, Nann, and you'll be standing by, of course, throughout the evening. Hopefully we'll have good communications tonight, and we'll be able to check in with you there on Galveston Island as the storm moves even closer to you.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Nann.